Man, there was wow. Man, it was going so well, Miles. Going so well.
No,
Did you
I'm
see
with
his
Miles.
shoulders? His
Yeah.
shoulders just went down. Like,
yeah. Miles is just making sure the sound works. That's all, man. That's all it is, dude. Like,
Miles, you just made me so sad, dude. You went from like his chest was big to everything worked to right when they got the reverb is. Oh,
Miles was just making sure that we've had issues with cameras, we've had issues with
that's
sound.
me, the nerds.
Yeah, that part.
You remember when Jacksonville wanted more national coverage?
Mm-hmm. Or they're just hating on us. We can't getting all the attention you want right now.
Oh, we got so much to get into today. It's the Sports Den Friday edition, the weekend. The Jags are now nearing 40 days without a coach.
I didn't realize. I realized that a lot of the guys, a lot of the people were fired. And I knew the black coaches were gone. I didn't realize that almost a third of the league fired their coaches this year. Yeah, there were 9 vacancies. There's 7 open.
Really?
Right? There's 7 open now. 2 are filled. It was just
let's get one thing out of the way. I'm a Saints fan, and they've got an opening, but it's a terrible job. It's an awful job to go take right now. They are in salary cap hell, like real salary
which
cap
is the
hell.
real reason why.
Peyton knew what he was doing. Peyton did the Urban Meyer to Florida thing. Peyton was like, "Oh, it's been fun, but I don't have it in me to rebuild this thing." But they're way over the cap. You know, you got Kamara, you've got some weapons on defense. Fair to say that you don't know if Jameis is like a franchise guy or not. You got to make that decision now.
Mm-hmm. With him coming off of ACL,
right? So I mean, it's not a good job to have. And then you look at the other jobs. I don't really give a crap. All I care about is what the hell's going on in Jacksonville. And you look at the last 14 months. If you go back to forget that. Go back to New Year's Eve of 2019, when Shad made the announcement that he was bringing Marone and Caldwell back for another year. In fact, maybe that's why COVID happened.
Good.
It was right after that.
Good.
It was right after that.
I can see.
You look at the comedy of errors since then, and it's like reality show, fake TV type stuff.
It's AEW.
Ooh. Wow, I see the tie-in. We just got deep.
They were the first franchise to legit put their coach in the coaching staff in wrestling, professional wrestling. And they participated.
If we find out that there's been behind-the-scene cameras getting all this,
it'd be great. Sell it to Netflix.
Then you are so right. This has all been scripted. Balky's like the bad guy. I don't watch wrestling. Are they
Balky is the heel? He's the heel. Balky's the heel.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great storyline. Now I've gone from thinking Shad got lucky and got to being a billionaire to now he's like next level. Wow. I hate people saying he's playing chess.
No, 3D chess or 4D chess. Is that what it is? But think about, I just read something because I was trying to find out, because my joke, and very offensive, I love all religions and races and creeds, but I was thinking of what's the only thing that Balky could have on Shad to make him like keep a job.
I don't like where this is.
And I'm gonna mix my father in here. One of the things that I've joked with my father, he's a Nation of Islam, Muslim. He's not like a Muslim, but I said one of the things that they take seriously is, did you eat pork? Like, there's been a whole comedy skit on a dude saying, I need you to come to Chicago because we need to check your membership because we saw you eating some ribs. And he was like, it is not so much that you ate the ribs, because I could get over that. It was your face that you were making when you ate the ribs. You were enjoying the ribs. You were licking your lips.
I am taking 2 steps out of this conversation right now.
I just think Balky has a picture of Shad in a fried bologna sandwich. It was struggle time. Struggle times, man. Like, you can't eat just Marone was eating bologna. We were winning.
Things were good.
Shad went over there and said, you can't eat a bologna sandwich if you're not used to eating bologna. But when you fry that bad boy up,
it's still disgusting.
It's a little bit better. You get a little egg, a little cheese.
It's not a little bit better.
Some toast bread. It's not bad,
better.
Man.
It's not any better.
But then I needed to make sure before I said that he's of Arabic descent. It doesn't mean you're Muslim. He has a white wife. He might have actually stepped back. So I Googled, find out he still is. He still practices.
This is even worse because you put thought into this.
He's still
and you still decided to go here.
But what I found,
this isn't even going to be one of those the moment got me apologies.
No,
You've got
not at all. Not at all. I'm not apologizing for this. I'm gonna let you know right now. I love everybody. Actually, the best clients I've ever had are Muslims, but my best friend is a Muslim. But in my research, what I found is that Shad doesn't make any decision half-assed. Yeah. So no, I'm bringing it back. So Shad doesn't make any decision half-assed, right? Shad literally dated his wife for a decade before they got married. There are women who are mad at men for not saying I love you or popping the question after months.
Men aren't Shad. Those men are spending a decade on a yacht.
No, but what I'm saying is we know Shad. We know Shahid now. We know Shad. She fell in love with Shahid in 1967 in Illinois. A white woman with a Muslim man in middle America waited 10 years for her prince. Or because but it wasn't her.
Sounds like a Disney movie.
He was saying like, nope, I've got this bumper thing that I'm working on behind the scenes for my boss. Like everything Shad does is calculated. So it was making me come on board. But then I realized this is still Jacksonville. There's no way I could give them the benefit of the doubt that this is just all for pure content. That Tony's just making, like Tony Khan and Shad are trying to figure out how they can milk more money out of this. I just can't believe it. Because at the end of the day, it's still football.
Okay,
right?
So let's do something nobody's really done. Well, maybe they have. I haven't paid attention to everybody.
Yeah, I don't listen to the sports radio.
Let's talk about what actually goes on during this whole time, because I think everybody has a tendency to think of interviews like job interviews they go on. Like,
oh God,
I went and applied at Wawa,
so right.
and like
I've got a friend who thinks Brian Flores, who is a good coach, has been passed over at every job. And I was just like, you ever thought, just putting it out there, he's got a buyout from Miami. Mm-hmm. He's been a head coach before. He feels like he knows what went wrong, and he's actually looking for the best situation for him to be at right now.
Right.
Like, so that he doesn't have to work again, so that if he gets fired this time, he can still have a job somewhere. Like,
that's what I want to go through. I want to go through, like, forget how in demand somebody is, but just the process of an interview. I think kind of maybe not justified. Nothing can justify Balky still having a job. Let's just get that out there now. But I think maybe it can justify why, when you had to fire Urban abruptly, you didn't just fire Balky too. So when you have a coaching search, you have a ton of people involved, and there's a ton of moving parts. Meaning, let's just take Byron, for example. Byron was coaching up until last week.
Yep.
So you had to wait on that thing. But at the same time, you're gathering information, and you're gathering information from his agent, who is Jimmy Sexton, by the way.
Terrifying.
And so you're in constant contact with this agency, and it's not Jimmy Sexton sitting on his couch. It's Jimmy Sexton and his probably 200 or 300 employees that on their clients have already vetted them for you. Right.
Jim,
and so
if he's anything like he is in college,
and Bobby feels like this is a proper time to ask a question for some reason.
I was going to ask, who are you saying we? Like, who's doing the searches? Like, is it Shad himself? Like, that's
no, Balky. No, that's where I'm getting.
GM,
Yeah. Good question.
The GM's
so
job.
Shad's not going to sit there and do the search. Tony's not going to sit there and do the search. So there's a bunch of paperwork. There's a bunch of, like, vetting. There's a bunch of, can we even move forward with this? That's bulky. In addition to, by the way, the general manager at an NFL team is like your general manager at anything else. They run everything. They don't just run game day or coaching. They run budgets. They run everything. So if you don't have a general manager for an extended period of time, you're kind of screwed. Especially if you don't have that strong number two. So now you get to the interview. Let's say the interview is, I think while they're in season, it can only be 2 hours.
Okay.
Right. So you get a 2-hour interview.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you can't, I don't care what kind of interview it is. Like fun interview, like what we do, or job interview. I'm not sitting there for more than 2 hours.
Well, I think you would though, because you
unless
have to.
It's 2 hours with the tour. I only get 2 hours of time with the individual.
So the first interview, you got 2 hours, and because you were still coaching in the playoffs, and that's the rule. And so in that 2 hours, like you got to kind of fill out. And at this point, if you're Byron Leftwich, this is not the time to say, I don't want this job if he's here. You're just going through the interview.
If he said
that would have been pimp.
Oh my God.
But
Byron,
it didn't happen.
What does it need to happen? What needs to happen? You are the leader that we need.
Well, we're going to get to Byron being the hero in a second, because then at that interview, that's Byron filling the Jags organization out and the Jags filling Byron out. Remember, Byron's still coaching, right? And he's coaching Tom Brady, who ain't going to put up with no shit. Like, you better be dialed into the game plan, right? So then after that interview is where Jimmy Sexton goes back to work, because at that point, you start talking about, is this guy feasible? Who's his DC going to be? Who's his staff going to be? All fair questions, because he's a first-time coach.
So what you ask second-time coach that? Because just because you brought somebody with you the first, actually, if you got fired the first head coach's job, I don't want you bringing any of those guys back.
Perhaps, yeah.
But if Jimmy does this how he does it with college, you're not just like all those questions when you hit his client up. All this stuff has been answered. Because when I think about college, and this is why I always tell people, like, when they're like, you don't know, it's one room in every college that everybody has to go through. And I think the NFL has to have something similar with the NFL because of NFLPA. Compliance is the one room that everybody in college football, college sports in general, you have to go through there. If you don't clear the compliance at the school, they can't hire. They won't hire you. And some have stronger compliance.
It's the equivalent of vetting,
right?
It's just there's an extra step.
But what I mean is that when they bring up, so when they're doing a coaching search for the head guy, right? They don't just come in and say, okay, we're going to pick this one guy. Oh, now that we know he's interested, now we're going to vet him. No, whatever the committee is, the AD or committee gives them a list of 10 coaches. Mm-hmm. Those 10 coaches, automatically compliance is going through. That's when I tell people, like, I'm not kind of telling you, but I know. And then those 10 coaches have to submit who are your potential offensive coordinator.
So let's go there.
That's what I mean. So when Jimmy's bringing him to you, Jimmy's saying Byron's coming, but here are 5 people that we think Byron could bring as the OC.
But they didn't get there the first interview, because you got to remember the Jags are interviewing at the same time 4 other people. Right. So now the second interview comes up, and now you've got a good idea of what you're going to ask. You know each other a little bit better. And so now that's when all that's going to come up.
This last year too.
Not with the Jags.
No, but just in general. So like what I'm saying is the head coaching interview, he probably already has.
Right. But again, I'm not trying to make this about, I'm trying to make this more about shot and
the process. Got you.
Right. Right. So now you get that second interview, and now you get a good feeling and things move. Hackett goes. First thing to drop, Hackett goes. So now you've got to move
faster.
Okay. So now the leverage has switched from, okay, who wants the Jags job to, oh crap, who can the Jags get? Well, Byron and Sexton know that. So that's when you say,
and there's not a person in this world that you want to negotiate with in general, but you don't want to negotiate them when they have all the leverage.
That's right.
Is Jimmy Sexton.
That's right. That's right.
People who listen to this in these Jaguar groups that don't follow college, let me tell you who Jimmy Sexton is. The devil. He represents 75% of all the coaches in FBS, not head coaches, coaches. Mm-hmm. Like the coaching carousel that happens every year, he's the one behind it.
He's the puppet master.
He literally, so like you thinking your coaches, like I'm gonna use Florida as an example. I don't know who Billy's might be signed to him, but I don't know. But they wanted to fire McElwain. Mm-hmm. So they fired McElwain. Now they tried to go through McElwain and get out of the buyout.
Yep.
And they thought they were clear because the top candidate choices they had at the time weren't Jimmy Sexton clients. Mm-hmm. So they were like, nah, we're going to stick it to him. He's going to take this little bit of money right here, blah, 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 and we're going to be fine. And Jimmy's like, okay, keep trying, keep playing me. One client from the few agencies says no. They have to circle back around to Dan Mullen. And you know who represents Dan Mullen? Mm-hmm. Who they have to come knock on the door? Jimmy's like, hi.
Yep.
Me again. Yeah. Now, since you want to play games, buy out, and I'm finna stick you with this. But because I'm such a good guy, Mississippi State, we're gonna lower that buy. Just get them some chicken nuggets and we'll get them out. But I think he filled Mississippi State's job. So
yeah.
He's getting buyout. He knows
what he's doing.
He's getting buyout money, his percentage of that. He's getting new contract money, his percentage of that, from 3 places.
Here's the analogy. Imagine you're a realtor and you list every single home in an entire community, and you also have all the buyers. So you're working both sides.
Both sides.
That's Jimmy Sexton in sports right now.
And he's getting the
he
best
works
deal
both
for everybody.
sides. Yep. And he knows what's going on before it happens. So I say all that to say this. If you didn't have Balky or you didn't have a GM, there would be some random person doing all this.
Right.
So then Byron's like, okay, cool. I got a little bit of leverage. By the way, I don't want Balky. I want to bring my own GM. And he could have just said it like that. He could have just said, I want to bring my own GM. It doesn't have to be anti-Balky, right? It can be, I just want to bring my own guy. And then at that point,
I want somebody I'm comfortable with. I've worked with. I don't want him.
Well, and let's be real. I mean, Trent Baalke is the guy that he is a snake. He has gone behind people's back. He is a terrible person.
Jesus.
Like that's his reputation.
No, you're right.
There's only 2 things that happen.
Like you can't, like, I had somebody in my DMs, you know, that works with the Jazz, and they're telling me how great of a person he is. And I'm like, that could be true for you guys.
Yeah.
He probably does a very good job with nutrition and blah, 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 and all the stuff that nobody cares about. We watch football games. I was like, players have those. They have their own nutritionist. They have their own strength and conditioning guy. For the thing that a general manager is known for, bringing in coaches and players,
keeping the peace.
He's bad at that. I was like, it's not just Jacksonville he's bad at. Mm-hmm. And I always go back to this because, you know, me and David are friends.
Oh, yeah.
Me and David Caldwell are friends now. We're close.
Y'all are tight.
All jokes aside with anybody, it just didn't work here. Mm-hmm. He's obviously decent at his job because he never goes without work. There are people who will come out and publicly vouch for Caldwell and the things that he's done at certain times during his career.
He got another job right away.
There's not a person on this planet that I have seen. There's not. I told the one person, I said, you know what? As confident as you are in this person, you didn't at me on Twitter with a comment. You DM me. Mm-hmm. That tells me everything I need to know. Like, people who, like, when I publicly bashed him, mm-hmm. you privately exalted him.
Right.
Like, I'm probably.
It may have been him.
Any other time I would have been like, you know what? You're Balky burner.
He got a burner, and he's like,
Balky.
But the thing about guys like Trent Baalke is, it's like when you go behind coaches' backs. Mm-hmm. And when you start talking crap, then other coaches, there's not a better fraternity or bigger fraternity than NFL and college coaches. They all talk.
Right.
All the time. Even the guys that don't even like each other. They talk. It's business. Everybody knows about you, bro. Everybody knows about you. And there's 2 scenarios here. You either get fired or you get your ass beat. Like that's what happens to guys like you. Like that's the only 2 scenarios that happens to guys who are snakes.
It's like, and Shad has earned every bit of criticism that he's gotten in this situation because what it looks like, the perception, which is, I hate that, but at the same time, that's what everybody's judged on for the most part, is that you're doing everything. You're not, the smart play is what's best for Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's looking like we're making the decision that's what's best for Garbage Ben Baalke, which is the only reason I stayed. Like, I was going back looking, like, why is he making, what can he do to a billionaire that makes the billionaire shooketh to his core?
I thought about this a lot yesterday.
Because he should have been fired.
He should have never been hired. That's the thing. Yeah. He should have never been hired. Like, if you wanted to hire him as a contract guy, cool.
Well,
Nobody even knew he was here.
I think before now, what I will say and what I will like when I see him, I will get on David about is that damn it, you brought him here.
Well, we think. What if Shaw had some relationship and he told David?
That would be okay. So I need to ask these questions before I just jump down this thread.
Yeah, because I thought the same thing.
I appreciate you for saying that because like I'm sitting here like maybe Shaw didn't like it happened on his watch, but he wasn't just like let's go through the hires. Yes. Or and maybe he just said you're the general manager, hire who you think is competent.
So let me ask y'all this because I thought about this yesterday. Let's say you're Trent Baalke for a second. You've got 2 years left on your deal, I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm going there. So you're going to get paid either way, right? You're in a city that literally every single person except for the person that DM'd James from a burner account hates you.
How do you eat?
Right? Follow me.
Where do you
so
go?
Follow me. So you literally are the only GM that there's ever been a clown movement for.
Okay, I think I know where you're
going
with this.
How do you not walk into Shad's office and go, "Oh, bro, listen, you know what? I'll man your ship. I'll do whatever for the next 2 years, but I'm holding the organization up.
Okay.
I'm holding the organization up. It's time for me to go."
You went in a different direction, but that's a more.
Would y'all not? Am I wrong on this?
Direction.
Like, no, I don't think I could go into work every day going, I'm the reason that people aren't taking this job. And I don't know what it looks like, Ben, Trent, whatever your name is. I just what it looks like at this point is you're trying to play puppet master and it's all crashing down around you. Mm-hmm. And you seem like that friend that we all have. That's like, yeah, man, I got all these girls. And then at some point it's like, oh shit, they all found out. Right. And there's nothing you can do. Like, that's what you look like right now. Yeah, they're all mad. You're not going to win. You're still trying to play the game. But at this point, everybody's just laughing at you. That's what it looks like with Trent Baalke. And at some point, like, you just got to bow out, bro.
A song called The Whole Town's Laughing. So maybe that's something we should put. I thought you were going in a different direction. And I was about to say, yes, I think we should do that. We've got a lot of momentum.
Public stoning?
Close.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Okay.
I don't want it because you could technically die from stoning or be seriously hurt. I'm not opposed. I'm not above that.
You put a hit out on a coach. Don't judge me now.
But I also said I don't want him to die. He's older. I just don't want him to be able to finish his job. And I'm glad nobody. One, I didn't want to pay the $5,000, and then two, Florida State.
You put a $5,000 hit on a coach, and now you are judging me. But go ahead.
No, I thought you were saying like that in front of those eyes, like how, like I'm like, where does he go to eat? He's probably married, got kids. Where like stuff like don't bother them. But like, where does he go to relax and unwind in Jacksonville? Like,
it's Ruth Chris showing hella love.
Showing hella love, because if that's the case, I know how we can get him out of here.
We need to all
stop showing hella love.
Yeah,
or Ruth Chris.
Pick one. The city or Ben?
No.
Pick one.
No, this is what I'm about to say. Because this is how you can be, Bruce. I don't want you to do anything that's going to put you in a situation to make you an accessory. But you can sometimes, if you have notable guests, you can say, hey, Idris Elba just stopped by the Ponte Vedra location.
Bro, you're not wanting them to tweet that he's there.
Ben Baalke is at the Ponte Vedra location, man. Go Jag. Can we get a go Jags? That's the bat signal. A lot of people can go, especially if it's between 5 to 7. Got happy hour. It's happy hour. Half off apps, appetizers. Bro. Hella love. Bro. Let's go fill this place. Give Ruth Chris some. Give him some.
We're just getting done with cities. We're just getting done with cities rioting over racial conflict, and now you are suggesting that in Jacksonville we go burn a Ruth Chris down because the general manager's in there.
Burn it down. Just go. And everybody just stare.
Just boo them.
With clown noses. Just imagine like you're going to your favorite restaurant. You're like,
and now I'm starting to feel bad for Ben or Trent or whatever his name is.
I'm going to go Big Crab, get me some on a Saturday.
Oh, I need
go
those
get
wings.
Me some lemon pepper wets. And I'm sitting there and I'm enjoying my wings. And then people were like, oh, big game's at Big Crab. And then everybody's there. And they don't want to disturb you because you're eating, but they don't want to leave because they need to talk to you. So they just stare at you. and they're circled around you. And you're sitting here like
awkward with wings too, because you want to lick the fingers. Like
you're like,
yeah.
It reminds me of a Dave Chappelle sketch when he says, "Eating fried chicken isn't racist." But it felt racist the first time because when he was eating and a bunch of white people were staring at him, and he was like, "Look at him, he's enjoying it." But not just all jokes aside. Let's make it. Don't do anything physical, but let's just make it a little uncomfortable, and then maybe he'll do the no.
Dude, I don't think he's gonna get the point. He was at a game with a bunch of people with clown faces.
That's what I was gonna say.
In a box.
That's what I was gonna say, Denny. Like I think this might be the situation where it's like maybe Trent is just one of those people who's like always the last to know. Like, you know, those people who know that they're the problem. They're always the last to really know.
There's no way, bro. There's no way. Like, you literally were at a game with people wearing clown faces because of you. I mean, but they know why. They knew what the movie. It literally was hashtag fire Balky. I mean, you think he was sitting there going, you think just a week ago, he's like, oh shit, I'm that bulky? I thought they were talking about a different bulky. That's me?
Like, he's wearing a clown suit too. He only listens to sports, and he's like, man, I hate Ben Balky too. Whoever this Ben Balky guy is trash. Wait a minute. Oh my God.
He like sat up in the bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Holy cow.
He was asleep.
Wake up.
He was having a headache because he's stressed going through this coaching search, and Shaw gave him a couple of days off, so he ate a whole pack of nerds. And then he's sleeping. He wakes up. Remember the Gatorade commercial with like Dwayne Wade and all those guys?
Yes.
And they're playing people in their sleep.
Yeah.
And they just, Trent wakes up like, oh my God. Sweetheart. Don't know. Have you been on Web 3.0? Have you been in the metaverse? It's all the talk in the damn metaverse. Firing some Ben Balky guy. I think Ben Balky is metaverse me.
She's like, we know that.
Everybody, the kids waking up, Dad, we know. My friends hate me because you made the Jags suck. That is one thing I do want to always, because under the second greatest coach now, the second greatest coach in Jaguars history, who I believe needs a statue, Jack Del Rio, his offensive coordinator was also former Bucs head coach. Now it just left my mind. He was head coach at Arizona State. Anyways, his kids went to bowls, and I got a chance to train them. But like, they weren't that bad to where like they were going to get picked on or ridiculed while they were at school. Like, I want to know what it was like for Baloney Boys kids.
Here you go. Question for you. Like, Trent Balky calls you today. I have a 14-year-old son. I want you to train him.
Train the hell out of him. But I'm going to be concerned about the kids' well-being. I'm going to be like, hey, Trent, let me talk to you. Destin was doing a pretty good job today.
Who?
I just made up a random
name. You call him Destin?
It just seems like his name might be Destin. I don't know what Trent. I don't even know if Trent has kids. I'm just
call him Jerry. Ben and Jerry.
Fine. Jerry was doing okay. Mine seemed distracted. And I asked him what was going on. He said Tom was bothering him, and he threw an orange at the back of his head and said, your dad ruined my favorite quarterback. And I think maybe you should get him some counseling, like, so that it can help with the training. But like, I'm always curious about like where
that's why this all sucks, honestly. Like, I know we're joking, but yeah, kids didn't do anything with this. And to be honest, like,
the best kid
Trent's not good at his job. Okay. We can all agree with that. The other day he's just doing it. Like,
the best kid I've ever seen handle it, like the best I've ever seen handle. I don't know if it was best for Jimbo, but I think Jimbo didn't give a damn because he was getting paid $75 million. But Trey Fisher was freaking hilarious when this happened. And he was just like, because he loved FSU to death. And he actually stayed in Tallahassee to finish up at Gobby. And when people were roasting, he's like, yeah, bump my dad too. Like, I don't like that dude either, man. He was just like, I was like, geez, it's kind of harsh, kid.
He had a hard year.
Yeah, that when
mom and dad drama.
Yeah, but you know what? The kid's gonna always defend the mom, no matter.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that situation.
Before that, it was.
Bobby don't even know what we're talking about, do you?
Hold on. But no,
just Google Candy
Fisher. Hold on. He got a chance to deal with his mom stuff for a couple of years before he had to deal with dad moving. Because you got to think. So 13 is when they won.
All tied in together.
13 is when they won the ship. Right after that is when she basically coached Odom. That's when we found out about, whatever. 14, I believe she's completely responsible for our implosion in Oregon, but whatever. 15, we went to the Orange Bowl. And then 16 was bad. And then 17 is when it went all the way bad. And that's when he left. But like
you think having an affair with a former Gator player who's 20 years younger than you just goes away?
No, it doesn't. Like, on God, I still don't care what I don't even know if Taylor and his wife are still married or not. I know she went to school with me. I know her. I feel bad for her situation, for that she actually believes him. I still say to this day, it's on sight when I see Jake. If I see Jake in public, so what was my man saying? In Whole Foods, in Tallahassee, it's on sight.
He's denied it?
He told his wife that was because I never told you the story.
No.
So one of my friends,
I don't know how we got from Trent Baalke to.
We're talking about kids and how, but one of my friends was posting about how, Florida State's not doing well and whatever, and she's close to friends with them. And I said, on God, when I see Taylor, it's on site for messing up my school. He single-handedly, not recruiting, not anything else, he messed up everything that we need to do. And then she posted something and like, that's a vicious rumor that is destroying my family and doing all this stuff. And I read, I'm like, poor. Like, I didn't mean to hurt you, but like, he did it, right? And she's going on. And so everything in me wanted, I was like, you know what? Fine. If you believe that, I'm gonna let it go. Then she added more. And I came back because all my friends, only reason I know she added more, all my friends like, JC, whew, that was big of you, JC. We are so proud of you. Like, everybody, I'm like, why is everybody telling me how proud they are of me? Like, what happened? And I go back and read it, and like, she went in on me after that. Like, she went back, and I'm like, and they were like, JC, no, JC, don't do it.
I can appreciate her standing up for it, man.
I can too, but I can't, because I don't believe in split households. Your household's different. You're a Gator fan. You love Florida when you came here, but you're like a LSU, Arkansas,
right.
All those other things. So the family divided thing ain't really like right with y'all. These people who went to Florida State and actively go marry somebody who went to Florida. Not saying that there aren't any hot ones and there aren't any compatibility. I just don't want to hear that. That ain't for me. Like, not when you like now. If you're a true engineering student like Shah Khan and Shadrika Khan come back together, and they I don't.
That'd be so awesome.
Forgive me.
That would be so awesome.
I apologize. I really don't know how like Muslim women names, so I'm just trying to put this out here. But like, they don't know. They didn't go to school for football. They went to school for school. Like, they didn't like. They earned their degree. This is setting them up for life. Regular person from like regular Joe Schmo that I went to school with, like, dude, no, you find you a Florida chick, you find you a fine FSU chick, or the only
for the record, that's James. I'm not judging y'all for who you wish to marry based off your college allegiance.
It's okay. I'm not telling you not to do it. Just know I'm looking at you weird.
Some people don't have a whole lot of choices, bro.
That's fair. I've seen some of these people. You're right.
Yeah. You get what you can get. If they do the Gator chomp, they do the Gator chomp.
Matrimony and not dying alone.
It's 12 days out of the year. You're fine.
It's cool. Yeah,
you're okay.
Right. You're right. You might have brought me around to it. Like, now that I see some of these people, I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Let's get real quick. We already talked about ABC, didn't we?
Basically, people know.
Get to Northeast Florida Executive Health Spa.
8-8, 5-11. 2-14, 1-15, 3-14. These are his consecutive years working for Garbage Ben. Balky.
So he wasn't here in 17?
He was here like 2020. 2020 was his first year here. He didn't work. Like that's what I'm saying.
Well, how many years did you just read?
I read 5, but that was when
he was in San Fran.
Those three.
By the way, I don't know if any of y'all are paying attention, but San Francisco's done pretty well since he left.
What I said is check this. So before he went to San Francisco, they went to consecutive conference championships. They should have won a Super Bowl, but the PlayStation was unplugged.
Right, lights went out,
and the brother pulled a shrewd move. I ain't mad at him. It's what happens with siblings and cousins and stuff. I've done it a few times myself. Then the next year, I think it was the next year. They go 8-8, and Jim's like, "Yo, I'm out of here." So then they bring in somebody else, and that guy's like, "Nope, can't do it. I'm out of here." Then they bring in somebody else, and he says, "No, I'm straight. I'm out of here." They bring in. It was so bad that they brought in Martin Mayhew, who I love, former double alumni, my high school and FSU, who absolutely stunk in Detroit. But everybody stinks in Detroit. But he comes in with John Lynch, who had no experience, and they rebuild it to now San Francisco's a contender again.
Yep.
Everywhere is basically it's real simple, Shaw. Just look at his resume, like what we should have done before. Why? And ask this question. Actually, you know what? I need to know how he answers it because I believe in Shot. Shot had to have asked this. Why does it seem like everywhere you go, they stink? Like, is it you?
Well, I mean, can't you ask that same question to Shot?
Well, Shot, you talking about as far as pro? Yeah. Is this the football club still doing bad?
I guess.
I mean, AEW is flourishing.
That's not real.
Oh, I'm just saying.
It's not real. I mean,
that's the only thing that I can give them.
Has somebody not informed Shad and Tony that the NFL is not completely scripted? Like, is that what they think is going on? It's like our turn's coming. Vince McMahon is going to call us, and that's not somebody else.
Man, somebody driving 60 yards in 13 seconds. Man.
45.
45 yards?
Yeah,
that's right. I keep forgetting that extra 20.
Yeah, 45 yards. Yeah, but I want to just let's end this conversation this way. I just don't think I think the narrative of oh man, Trent must have something on Shad. I think that's a little lazy. I think what you do have to realize, and this isn't going to make anybody feel better, is Shad doesn't have a football background. Tony doesn't have a football background. And so he came into a place, and at some point, Balky came in, and he just kind of liked the guy. And now he's realizing, I think, oh, well, this ain't going to work. And so if you want to know what's taken so long during this whole thing, is now you're not just hiring a coach. Now you're hiring a new GM, and you don't do that in 5 minutes. And by the way, the Rooney Rule strikes again. The idiocy that is the Rooney Rule. You know they have to interview another black general manager. You know that, right?
Wait a minute.
The Jags,
because they interview one.
Yes.
Oh, because they fired
and hire. You can't just go out and hire the
black guy you want.
Right. You gotta
get multiple.
And I just want to throw this out there. If you are somebody in the business, you know what's going on behind the scenes. Why are you going to drop everything that you're doing to go be the interview guy in Jacksonville? I don't think you can just put that together in 30 minutes. You know what I mean? So I'm saying
the Rooney Rule affects GMs too?
It does now, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is I think this is amazing theater, amazing entertainment, and it's also embarrassing. But I also can see why it's taking a little bit longer. I think it will be Byron. I think Balky will be out, which that move along makes Byron the second best coach in the history of the Jags. And you could actually argue that. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep. And then I think it gets done. I read this earlier. I think Dilla tweeted it. Is there's some groundbreaking thing on Monday for the new performance center? Like, do they tie all this together?
That'd be good. That'd be amazing with the PR department, but I don't think our PR department is very competent too. Is there Rooney rules with that? Or like they just, is it because the other guy was here so long? Are you suggesting that we
become the first NFL franchise that has all black employees?
Why not?
Oh, let's try it.
Can't hurt.
Let's try it.
We've tried this all white employees thing and it doesn't work. So like,
let's try it. Why not?
Mix and match. Make it the United Nations. Like bring some of the best. Bring everybody in.
No.
I just don't. I'm trying to think. Now I'm trying to think like
no white people. None.
I want a combination.
Sorry, Susie.
I want a combination of blacks. I want the black guy, the offensive line, not him, but like a black guy like him. They got mad and cussed out the old
right. George Warhawk.
Yeah, you need a combative black guy.
But you got like 80 positions. You can get I need every kind you want.
I need an old black man.
Wait, not what you?
No, I'm saying Warhawk's not old, right?
He ain't young. How old?
No, like one when you look at him, you just feel wisdom. But there's like the old black guy that just looks like he tells great stories. Yeah, he's
war up 60.
I need 5 more years on that. 65 or better. He's not gonna be around here long. I don't need him.
So we're gonna discriminate
to live
every way we can. Age, race. I like it.
Like, yeah, I think you know what? This is perfect. I want all the things that not all white people, just want to put that out there, but that when white people say affirmative action has really hindered them, or that I want you to feel the discrimination that you think you feel.
I got a suggestion.
Like, I want you like, nope. Did I not get hired? Why wasn't I hired? It was because you were white. I want Shad to say that. I want for the first time
very strict. Whites.
I want for the first time in history it to be upfront, plain, and let them know, like, what could I have done better to interview and get this job? Could have been black. Should have told your mom to mess with the coal.
Yeah, if you do the interview, in blackface and you get hired, it's just like, you got me. You got me.
Yeah. Like Shad's really trying to destroy the. That's what I want to see. I want people to write because like Shad.
But we got to be fair. If we're gonna do this, then every receiver, running back, and DB has to be white.
I love it.
And let's flip the script, Jacksonville.
See, the thing that people don't know about me,
look at Miles. Miles is thinking through this. Miles like,
I haven't tell you the real reason why I took the Ponte Vedra job when I was coaching. Because I had a really cushy gig where I was at. There was no expectations of me, but I went for one reason and one reason alone. And I still think that when Trey gets a little older and I really go back into coaching full time a little bit more, I'm going to go for this dream because I saw it. I said Disney, but I was too naive. Hallmark written all over this.
Okay.
I want, and I think I can achieve it with my skills in sports performance. I want to have the first, because I'm assuming it's the first, at least since desegregation happened.
Okay.
I want the first all-white 4x1 state championship team.
No, that happens every year in Nebraska.
No, in the state of Florida. I'm talking about in real states.
Okay.
I'm talking about in states where it matters.
All right.
I want to go up against.
There's some team in Wyoming that just did a minute and a half.
You're right.
They're wearing those crowns. Proudly.
I want to go up against Miami Central, Northwestern, whoever these people are.
Smoke them.
And I want I'm not talking about
like the dude in Texas. You want 4 of them. The dude in Texas a couple years ago.
But we're going to look white, not just be white. We're not having onesies. Our jerseys are going to be slightly baggy. The numbers are going to be weird. They're going to be all
socks pulled up.
the three socks. No, because now we're just taking it too far.
Now we're flaunting, yeah.
Nike waffles, the original. But no, because I think it can happen. I think and I'm sitting here like almost like cool. Think Cool Runnings if you've ever seen Jamaica Got a Bobsleigh Team, but the flip of that, black guy with dreads. Even in the person,
the Jamaican bobsled team made the Olympics. Y'all see that? Yeah, I saw that. The Jamaican bobsled team is in the Winter Olympics. Yeah.
Now I got somebody to root for because I don't.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, but I'm with you. Like people joke like at bowls the other day. Like one of the kids announced, he's like, "Yo," I think I said it on the show Wednesday. He's like, "Hey, I know you cold ass Pilgrim. I said, who, Cade? That's my dog. I love White Run. Cole Mazza's every running back I've coached gets tired of Cole Mazza stories. And they're like, man, who's this Cole Mazza? Blah, blah, blah. I say, hey, big white boy was killing it. Number 2 in the city in rushing. The only person he couldn't beat was a person that I don't think is black.
But I want a live look at free agency and draft night if this is a situation.
Dude, wouldn't that be so great?
Like, it's just.
Do you know the ratings they have? It would be a conundrum.
The Jags are on the clock.
There would be people who are like, right now, who are looking at, look at those Jags. You gotta always get one. Somebody's got to be the one to break up the good brotherhood. Got a black coach, a Muslim owner, and a black general manager. I don't like it already, but wait. Then you see the draft board, the number 1 overall pick. It's the Hutchinson kid from Michigan. Yeah. Or all of them look like Taven Bryant. It's
no, their board is literally just sorted. It's an all white.
Like, white letters.
White skills. Like, yes.
What is he? What does he bring to the table? Damn it. He's a hard worker.
High football IQ.
He never quits.
Great motor. Great motor.
He's the first in.
Yep, last out.
Last out. Yep. That's all I want. Deceptive speed.
Game speed. It's game speed. Game speed.
Before you guys do what you do with these clips that we're taking.
They're going to.
These clips we're taking.
We're going to get roasted for this one.
Please understand that we did not create these narratives. If you don't believe me, watch the NFL draft. The combine and the draft are 2 of the most racist moments in sports history, and it's got nothing to do with just black discrimination. It's just all about how they describe people. You can close your eyes and you know exactly what the person looks like.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
Stephen A. Smith did it perfectly.
Stephen A. Smith said a black quarterback was an athlete when nobody believed.
No, he wasn't an athlete.
He's the furthest thing from an athlete.
It's called him a dual threat, and the kid literally cannot
Winston's 247 profile had him listed as a dual threat quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis is the goofiest running person I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, close your eyes. You'll be like, what is he? High motor, coach's kid, works really, really hard. Dad owns a tractor. Hutchinson, got you. Michigan, 6'4".
Dad owns a tractor.
He's 6'4", too. Like they see my eyes. I'm closing my eyes for people listening. He's 6'4", 275 pounds, runs a 4.7, but he's got high motor. Yep, got it.
How are you going to tie this into Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa?
Oh, speaking of guys who were, like, since we're doing stereotypes, HGH peptide treatments from Northeast Florida.
What is that stereotype, though?
Guys like Hutchinson are probably
what does that do?
aided.
What does it do? What does it do?
Performance enhancement.
Well, what does it do? Do you know?
Helps with muscle recovery. It helps you generate muscle, which helps you be more explosive.
What's the downside?
There is none. I really don't understand what any of the downside of performance.
So why am I not doing this?
Because we've been lied to and said that it's like a magic, like treated like it's a magic bullet. You still have to work out. Like if you go to executive,
is this the thing that makes your ball shrink though?
No, that's like Dynaball and steroids and stuff.
I'm okay with that. I don't need
at this point. At a certain point, the only
sorry,
can I say this? At a certain point, the only 6 inches that matter are $100 bills. And how many of those that you have? Trust me, if you've got girth there, you're gonna always be okay.
I mean, I'm just wondering why haven't I done this HGH peptide thing in Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa? Are you saying they do it there?
They do. Dr. Holdhouse has that. They also have this thing, the Phoenix Laser System, which is really, really. I went and did that. You were supposed to, but you didn't. It's okay.
I got a story on that. Go ahead.
It's cool. All I know is they lay you down. They put this laser on you. It's a little warm. And you're like, yo, something's happening back here. I don't know. It's weird. And then like about an hour later, you feel like you just had a deep tissue massage. Like you feel great. So like they're key in recovering, making you feel good. It's not just about for Valentine's Day, giving your old lady the gift of you.
You know,
making sure you can blow her back out.
You know why I didn't do it?
Because
it's Nerd Day.
Oh,
I didn't know.
Now I can. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Fair.
Yeah.
I gotta text him. I gotta tell him that story now. I gotta tell him that story. Oh man.
I even tried to call him.
You were that messed up that you couldn't call?
No, I did. He didn't answer.
Oh, okay.
Probably good.
Okay. All right, good. I was like, Jesus.
Anyway, get to Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa. Life lessons that we can learn from this. I thought about this the other day, and I'm being somewhat serious here. Like,
you had some good feedback. A couple good
did we?
Quotes
what was some of them like?
One of them was "Don't love something that doesn't love you back."
That's Blake.
I
saw that. Like, I mean, when you look at this whole year with the Jags, it's like the first life lesson for me in this that's real. I got super excited about Urban. Like, I was really excited. And then it was Urban and Trevor, and it's like, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. And so my first life lesson was like, you got to show me. I'm no longer like, trust is gone. Usually history is an indicator of future, right? But I think we've moved on from that in this world. Like, people change like that now. And now there's so much money in everything, by the way, because money's relative, right? So let's say that you work somewhere and you make $15 an hour. And this job over here says, I'm going to give you $22 an hour. That's $7 an hour may change you for the worse, not the better. Like, it may make you lazy. I can use our training as an example. You've told me for years I overpay my trainers.
Wait.
You've told me that for years.
Shit. The way you just said that sounded terrible, man.
You told me that. So here's what happens. Have you not told me that? Have you not told me that? James told me that I should pay white trainers this. I was just listening to you.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not going to get in trouble. I might have to see these guys.
So here's what happens. Here's what's happened to me. Fine. The ones I want are still with me. The ones I want are still with me. But what was happening was, I give a guy more money than what he was making before. He doesn't work harder. He works less because he's making the same amount of money. So then Herbs comes in here. Herbs doesn't work like that. Herbs isn't out recruiting. Herbs in a bar in Ohio teaching young women how to take a snap.
That is recruiting. It's just not recruiting the way we're looking at. We've talked about this before. The former coach of the Cowboys of Oklahoma, Barry Switzer says he hires coaches based upon the way that their wives look. Because if they can recruit there and they get a fine wife, then they can do anything in life.
Herbs has a wife. I don't know if you were aware of that. Herbs already had a wife.
There was a big ass mural while the lady was saying, I didn't even know he was married. I didn't know who this guy was.
Look behind you,
man. I don't even know the damn bar is called Herbs.
It's like looking right over your shoulder.
I don't know who this person is. Like,
Balky is a big life lesson. Balky is a huge life lesson. You can only get away with lying your way to the top or stabbing people in the back for so long.
Eventually, you got to be able to do the job.
That's right.
It's the meme. Have you seen the guy when he's at this big electrical board and he's like, "Well, I lied about that. Now I got to figure out. Don't know what."
Well, I mean, we all know that guy. We all know the guy that's like, he screwed me and he screwed this guy. How does he keep getting these jobs? It catches up eventually. Eventually, it's going to catch up, and some dude like Byron's going to come in and go, "No, I ain't working for you. Choose me or him." And now, if you're the choice, you still lose because now James is putting a hit at you on Ruth Chris.
Where those servers get paid.
What do we do if Byron gets the job? What do we do if Byron gets the job and he goes to Ruth Chris? They get paid way. Y'all are paying your servers way too much. We need a lower minimum wage.
This is
$4.25 an hour. That's what I'm paying.
You know what? This is reminiscent of great shows in the past. This is definitely a petty ass Friday. This show can be broke down and misconstrued so much.
What was going to happen? This let me clarify. I was going to pay my trainers like $15 an hour, and James was like, "No, the minimum wage is $8."
No. That's terrible, man.
It did not happen. It didn't happen. I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to remember what I said now so I can kind of defend myself. But damn, it sounds awful. Whatever.
No, he was right. I
think it was more so like you're paying them to do a job that you created all the revenue.
Right.
Create
right.
Cultivate.
That's what it was.
It incentivized.
I was handing them the
bring,
clients and giving them the majority of the money.
Make them bring the clients in and then pay them.
Right.
But if I got to give it to you,
right,
you're gonna get what's left.
Right.
At a certain point, you can't just keep spooning.
You just keep,
But anyways,
I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. But I thought you were out the training game.
Listen, that's fucking hilarious though. Like, I might have said that. I was like, wow, I was in a bag that day. It's like MFTT. But no, life lessons. Oh God.
If y'all got any, weigh in. Miles, you got any?
The best life lesson I've learned is that, and I would no longer do this. We have to stop telling people that they can't judge somebody, or that that they're because you're not an expert that you can't do their job better than them.
That's a good one.
Because for the first time in my life, collectively, any Jags fan could have done exactly what these guys have done.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It is so hard to lose that many games in the NFL.
I got one. You can't always trust renderings.
Oh, boy.
Well, there's more to life. Renderings is a whole ass career for some of you.
Renderings is the metaverse.
Yes.
It's
the Jags in the metaverse. I bet are amazing.
I gotta be.
We've got what was it? The shipyards. Probably already built in the metaverse.
With the Noah's Ark design.
Why not? Why not? Charge an admission, a functional practice facility. All that kind of stuff. Miles, you got one, or you look perplexed over there?
No, I was thinking, watch this show, of course, but one of my life lessons I'm learning now is to also watch your screen time on your phone.
No, not your. The Jags have taught you.
Oh, that's
not just general life lessons.
No, I want to help him out because of this coaching search. He's been on his phone so much. Like life lesson is
Miles was like, I went to church.
Don't let the Jags consume you. And like he's like, before this coaching before this coaching search, Miles was like, I was like 2 hours a day on my phone. Now it's saying 23 hours of screen time. I didn't sleep. Like
here's what happens with those nerds though: is you look at the screen and you think you've been looking at it for 6 hours, and it's been like 8 seconds. That's what happens. So because. Yeah, never mind. We'll talk about that off air. You got one, Bobby, or are you good? You like you? There's a thing right there.
My life lesson is just that this is the greatest show that I've ever seen. Y'all are hilarious. I was laughing the whole time.
Well, that's sweet of you.
That's because of the Jags.
And I just thought of one now that I said that too. My life lesson also, Twitter, Jaguars Twitter fans, man. Life lesson. Protect Tony Khan. All right. What you were saying earlier about parents messing up and their kids having to fix it. He hung in there on Twitter. I was looking at the tweets they were sending when all this clown thing was going on. Like he hung in there like, all right, guys. Yeah. Well, that's it.
I can't go with you. No, I can't go with you. I can't.
Until I see Until I see.
I don't know how old Ben Balky's kids are. Tony's grown.
Here's my thing about Tony. I know Tony knows how to clap back on social media.
Mm-hmm. He did it on Gakwe.
He did it on Gakwe. Listen, dog. You want me to really believe in you? Dog, come out here. Say how you feel. Anthony?
I'll tell you where
Anthede? Con, say what you need to say, man.
I'll tell you where he lost me. I'll tell you why I can't go with Tony on anything right now. Is the same day the Jags lost their 20th game in a row.
Oh, that's when he put the AEW.
Is when he was congratulating himself on the Wednesday AEW ratings. The same day.
That's not smart.
No, it's not.
Be couth.
Yeah, I mean, just have a little bit of common sense there. So, Tony, you lost me then. You can get it back. You can get it back if we hear the story that you're standing in Pop's office right now, saying I'm have a sit-in. I'm not leaving your office. It's either me or Balky.
I didn't like you anyway.
Have I not given you enough, kid? Get out.
Yeah.
This is my new son.
Yeah. I know. This is probably bad.
I know you get the condo.
I know
now.
Ben can have kids. I don't know about you, Doug. You haven't given me a sire yet. You haven't given me. Nah,
wow.
Tony, don't listen to us, man. Get your inheritance by any means. Like, don't bump us, bro.
Ben, the condo's yours.
Yeah.
Tony, move. You're going back to Illinois.
Yeah, putting you on a raft to get off the yacht.
Let's get to Green Acres real quick. GreenAcreSporting.com. I saw what you posted. I may have to go purchase Angie. What were those?
Glocks.
I like them.
So just letting you know, Glocks aren't cheap, but they are customizable. They're nice.
Are you telling me that I can't afford a Glock?
No,
the way you said that, it sounded very personal.
You stop paying. Paying your coaches, so you can afford a Glock now.
Listen, Denny, they're not cheap.
No,
That's what it felt like.
I wasn't saying it to you. I was saying it to the other people. So actually, yeah, for all the people who always bitching about the other guns that I post up there, here's a perfect example. Go buy the expensive gun. Trust me, they want you to buy that. They have ammo. They are nice though.
GreenAcreSporting.com over off of Normandy Boulevard. Get over there for all your hunting and fishing needs.
I have AR-15s.
It froze up. What in the world is going on?
That froze up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. No. Get to Green Acres. Still got the AR-15s, you said?
Yeah, still got the
flamethrowers?
Still got the flamethrowers.
What about the musket?
The muskets, they don't have, but it is.
I want to see Byron walk into his introductory press conference with the musket.
And yes. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But duck hunting season, you can't, if you don't have ammo, I'm going to tell you right now, nobody else has it. And that's not me just joking. Literally, call around. The ammo. I didn't know that you need a specific type of ammo for duck hunting. You have to have steel ammo.
Well, I mean,
you can't use lead.
Don't want the duck to just.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's it. But what I mean is, you can't use lead because it will poison, because you're shooting over water systems and you don't want to mess up the wildlife. Turkey hunting, you just gotta use a shotgun. But I'm learning a lot about guns.
Is that a thing? Ammo. What you just said, is it true?
The turkey hunting?
No, about the lead?
Yeah. You're not supposed to. I guess technically you have to get caught. You can do whatever you want to do, just don't get caught.
How would one
get caught? Yeah. Apparently the wildlife and game people will be everywhere, I thought. I don't know. I've never gone duck hunting. I want to go duck hunting. I want to go duck hunting and turkey hunting. I want to do the wobble gobble, whatever the noise is that you got to do.
Do we have? Oh, you know what? I have a 8 o'clock.
Okay.
This is going to seem weird since we just were talking about this.
Tony gone.
No. Why do people hate the Jacksonville media so much? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm seeing all these posts about everybody, how they're in Khan's pocket and they're not. And literally, I was at the station all day yesterday, and not one single person had a good thing to say about what's going on.
All right. So let's not take it and just look at it now.
Okay.
Let's look at
but that was the context of the tweets I saw.
The context of they're not mad at it now. They're saying that if somehow they botched the Wilson and they botched the Leftwich thing, and you got to get Balky and Bill O'Brien or somebody else comes in, it's not going to be the same vitriol. It's not going to be the same stuff. It's going to be a wait and see. They're going to spin it and be all smiles and Hallmark cards. And I'm going to tell you why. And and it's not just new. People have been saying this since we were at the station. That was one thing. We got an email when we first started, and they were like, "Don't be anti-1010." And we're like, "We're not anti-1010. We just don't believe what everybody else is saying. We're just remember the draft that we
get that email a lot.
We did,
yeah.
The draft when they had the draft, we're like, okay, you drafted a defensive end and Dante Fowler, which he ended up being decent, whatever. But we needed a wide receiver. We still need a wide receiver, but we needed one then. Everybody's saying how great this draft was, playoffs. We're the only ones saying that no, you're drunk if you think we're making the playoffs. So this is year 7 for us, right? I think this is year 7. So in 7 years, we can go back and say in all of those 7 years, each year it started off with outside of now because we don't know what we're doing. Smiles and Hallmark cards, spin, nice stuff, this. Even when we were in the midst of some of the worst seasons that we've had, that's why people are feeling.
But what educate me on what people expect to happen. So let's say that they botch this, and let's say they end up hiring whoever, I don't know, let's say Balky stays and they hire Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson would probably wouldn't be
whoever.
I'm just saying, like, if they hired Doug, if they keep Balky, they expect, all right, more. If it were more wait and see talk, I don't want to fuck it. Hayes Carolina is a perfect example, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Hayes is good. I like Hayes, but when I thought he was about to, like, if he would have ever met Urban, I would have been afraid to see if him and Urban went around the corner. That's how happy he was. And
I was happy.
Yes. But dude, go back and look at some of the tweets that some of the people put out. It was almost like a circle jerk it came to those things.
Wasn't everybody happy about Urban?
Everybody, but there was some people like, I remember me. You were happy, but even then you're like, well, we still got to win. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to be like this. People were like expecting Urban to like bring us a championship or bring us to a certain level.
I was hoping 6 wins. That was our preseason,
which is again, it's and I don't think it's just now. I think it's the totality. It's the feeling that, like, when we used to do the night show. The show before us was like, oh, it's not that bad. We just lost, and we're telling the truth. Like, they don't tell the complete, utter truth, and what people know, and it hurts, and it benefits them because it benefits the station. When they're talking about mainstream media, they're talking about the station. Because Jordan DeLugo came on there like, wait a minute, I've been like this forever.
Oh, I'm not just talking about that one. I saw this like all over.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when people,
because that guy left me out. That guy was just like, bump everybody but James and T-Wig. I'm like, I see where this is going, sir.
Some of the tweets were so
hilarious. But here's what I'm getting to with this is like, if you got a daily show to do, and you're in an NFL city, and they don't hire the guy you like, that's fair. You should have all kinds of questions for Balky if you ever get that chance. Shad hasn't met with the media since Urban's been fired. He still has not talked to the media since Urban was fired. I don't know what people want. Do you think that, like, we can just go knock on Shad's door? Be like, yo, come here, Shad. And I get the whole boat thing. We weren't invited on the boat, obviously. But that happens in every city. Every single city.
Wait, hold up. That wasn't made up?
No.
There was really a yacht party?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So I didn't get to go on Kermit?
It's Kismet. But no, and that's probably why you didn't get to go. I didn't either.
I'm like, no, I'm legit. I want to see it. I want to take my shoes off at the dock or whatever they say you got to do.
All of y'all can say everybody's kissing up by going, but y'all would go too. So don't even. Y'all just
I'd go in the suite. I ain't opposed to eating rich people's food.
Right. So that's my point. So it's like, what do you want to happen? I don't understand, because
it's I think with just people like,
it was like, well, New York would be eating this up. Jacksonville's eating this up. The Jacksonville media is.
We're not New York.
Well, we're not New York because of numbers.
No. What I mean is, like, we're not Boston. We're like, not just the numbers. Like, we're not a rough them up type of media.
No. But I have not heard a single person say a good thing about any of this coaching search.
I think it's less about the coaching search and more about, it's cool now to jump ship, like, to talk about it. This has been shitty since the first product was on the field. And the problem is that it's every year that again, even when I worked at St. Johns, I didn't listen. I just listened sporadically. But when I pop in and listen, weeks 1 through 6 are, can't give up hope. We gotta keep it up. Give it energy.
Every
blah,
NFL
blah, blah.
city there
but
is.
I think if you actually, and I don't listen to Jaguars Today that often, just because I'm not in the car to listen to it at that time. But there's no analysis. Like, it's different. Which you're not wrong, but, like, yeah, you can say don't give up hope, but we can also say, like, damn, 4 interceptions is, you didn't throw that, but 4 interceptions is bad. Maybe we should try throwing to our team. You don't see a breakdown of all this stuff. You see fanboy and lover boy type stuff more often than not, and you can't always be negative, but you also can't always be positive.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because, I think Hayes actually brings more of that than most.
Hayes recently. Is on. I mean,
I've been
fire
going on Frangie now for 3 years with them. Like, Hayes has been, if something happens, Hayes will get on it. But all I'm saying is, I'm not trying to defend or anything. I'm just saying, if you really sat in those seats, whether it's a press conference or whether it's a daily radio show, guys, I know everybody thinks they can do this.
You can't.
It's not easy, especially when you're every single day for 2 or 3 hours. And it makes it harder when the team sucks. So it's like 2017 was easy content, man. Like we loved going there every single day. I can tell y'all, doing post games any other year, we were calling each other on the way like, man, I don't want to do this. Like, it's miserable to go in there after you've gotten your brains beaten in. And then it's equally as miserable to sit in there and just down everybody in the franchise. Like, I think on some level you have to understand that it's sports, but it's also business and relationships. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to do anything different in this world than what you would do in a business world. And in a business world, you're not going to walk into your boss's office and start screaming and yelling at them, just like you're not going to do that at a press conference.
Well, no. Now, press conferences are, you can't do that. Press conferences are boring. I've always told
people are always like, well, I'd ask them this. No, you wouldn't.
No, you would. Even the joke, like when I was just like, I wouldn't. It's a decorum thing. It's why I've never. There's one time that I made a big push to get the press credentials.
I've never been in a press conference,
but like no, and I've been to a couple Jag ones, and it's just. I went to the one where when we signed the quarterback. I've been to some FSU ones, but really, to be honest with you, the Jags aren't colleges. They post the press conferences, so like you get to go see it just like everybody else says it. And it's not the. It's really where it's not where you're supposed to hassle or really push. It's just not meant for that. But I think other interviews when you can get them into your world, you should ask more pointed questions, which I think is another reason why people get, but you're still not supposed to be a dick if that's not you. Like, or you'll get hung up on live radio. Like show.
What percentage of people listening right now do you think wake up in the morning and they're like, I hate my job and I hate my boss, but what do? They go in there and they work. And it's really not any different. You do that because you have a responsibility, you have a job. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Like, the Jags can suck. But there's only so many ways you can say that. Shad's not been a good owner. There's only so many ways you can say that. At some point, you got to go in and do your job, right? And people's job as a society is not to yell at other people. That's not what it is. It's not to downgrade other people. That's just not what it is. So I just think it's an unrealistic expectation of a local media group. And I'm not even talking about 1010. I'm talking about everybody.
It's just everybody. I think it just, when I look at all the times I've been in Jacksonville,
and by the way, I know people are going to get on me about this. That's fine. That's cool.
Whatever happens. Like, Florida fans hate you every day. So what's another group of people?
Right, exactly.
But like when I got here, I remember being yelled at by Tony Baselli about, if we don't support the team, they're going to leave. Mm-hmm. Like the first time that they sucked. Mm-hmm. If they weren't even, like, to be honest with you, I'd love for them to suck that way. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 500 suck.
Yeah, but you got to support the team. If you don't support the team, it's your job. Blah 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 blah. It's always been presented as if the fans can do something to affect the on-field product as opposed to the product itself. It's one thing to be positive, but it's another thing to be critical. And even this draft, and even my guy T-Wick, I said I hated the draft when it happened outside of T-Law.
Yeah.
Still don't understand. Love the pick of the running back that killed us at Clemson
ETN.
All the time, ETN. Just don't like it in the first round.
Right. We were very critical of the draft this
year. But my thing is who else was critical?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what,
but what if that's what Walker, they really think? They really believe.
Then that's where the problem comes in. That's why people. It's not just the Jags. It's that people. This is how I know they don't read the text line, they don't read emails, they don't see tweets. They don't think a lot of those guys are just good at their jobs, even though a lot of them are. Mm-hmm. A lot of these people who cover the Jags, I'm going to put it out there, they are good at their job. But they feel that it's more that either the fans feel they're not good at their job or they're protecting. The fact that nobody said or questioned that Walker Little hasn't played football in 2 years and we drafted him that early when we had other pressing issues. And then once we drafted these people, which were the questions, nobody pressed why the hell aren't they playing consistently enough. I think Mia did it, but Mia's 5'1", 95 pounds. They're not even paying attention to her like that. It's the guy, so it's not asking people to be a jerk. It's asking the men or the people who have the clout, the people who aren't going to try to get scowled at and try to get bowled up on, to ask a question that people really want. Because at the end of the day, nobody would care if this was a 10-7 ball club.
Oh, agree. Yeah. And I think that's the bigger thing.
That's the biggest thing, is that we suck. We've sucked for
everybody's
a long time.
pissed about it.
And every year I'll go on a limb. It's across the board with other, because the unfortunate thing right now, love them to death, my alma mater, I give them the shirt off my back. We suck. And you know what I'm starting to see again in the media? The same shit that I've seen the last 4 years. I'm working harder than I've ever worked before. I'm being coach. I've never been pushed this way before. I feel like we're a family. I feel like we're all of this. And you know what I've seen, the combination of the last 4 years with these damn articles that keep getting written? That's what the players are saying, but nobody's questioning, like, you said this shit last year. What? And I don't mean, don't be disrespectful, but like me, what I would say when a guy comes in and says, man, we're working hard, we're doing this. The question that can be asked in a respectful manner is, with all due respect, it's in the Geneva Convention. Why should I take what you're saying now any different than what you said last year and you finished 5-7?
Well, I think
that's fair.
I think it's fair to say something like, what specifically is different from now than last year? Like, I think that's fair. Yeah. But I think it just really all comes down to a lot of people think that they can do this job. Like you said, It's not as easy. And I always tell people, don't let us fool you. Even this, I don't know how this works, how we can come, but I think it only works because our life is sports. Right.
Like, it's not like, and it's been sports our whole life. Very few people can just walk in with no scripts, no notes, and be able to go off the dome. And not have dead time. So, because that's one of the biggest things that everybody has an opinion. That's why when people call in, like, they get froze. It's hard when you're called out. So you can't do it more than likely. But the problem is that they feel like the people that they're getting, the reputables, the people that are being forced down their throat, are no different than them. And with the opinions and not having anything that they feel is critical is only fueling that.
I'm not really bad-mouthing the people saying it. I'm more asking, and you've told me, like, where is this coming from? Because in my mind, it's kind of an anger thing. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, who can I blame now? You know what I mean? Like, it's that thing. The hardest thing about doing media, I was telling somebody the other day that DM'd me, was like, hey, can I pick your brain about this? I'm like, there's much better brains to pick, but sure. The hardest thing is, we say something, you hear it. We said it real time. You have as long as you want to form a counterpoint to it. And so you can go on Twitter and you can say, well, you said it this way and this. Okay, well, you may be right, but it took you 4 hours to do that. I had to say it in 2 seconds. Like, that's the hardest part of this. So a lot of times, like, when you're live on air, and we don't edit this, by the way, so it's the same way. In fact, this is harder because we don't have commercial breaks.
Right.
But a lot of times when you're on radio and you're live on air and there's a conversation that started that hadn't been discussed before, and you have this quick turnaround of, okay, I believe this. Is there a reason I believe it? Is it semi-intelligent? Let me go. I'll give you a perfect example. My take on Napier 2 weeks ago about going to take people from Louisiana. Well, look at the comments. It's like people went and looked up facts and this and that. It's like, yeah, that's a stupid take. Bro, it's A, it's an opinion, and B, I didn't even know we were coming on that. I didn't even know that's where we were going.
Right. It was a genuine opinion, and it's just something you don't agree with. It's not a bad take. You said at the end of the day, if you win,
I don't care.
We don't care.
I'm gonna pull for every single person with a Gator uniform.
Right now, it just kind of seems bad. Like, if
questionable.
If Billy was winning at Florida, right? You get, let's say, got Florida to 10-2 regular season, and then Saban retires, and Alabama comes and scoops him up, and he went and poached 5 of the top players from the University of Florida. There's not a Gator fan in the country who wouldn't be irate.
Bro, y'all would be calling that man every.
You would be doing the exact same things that the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns are doing to you right now. So at the end of the day, let's not act like we don't understand that. But I'm gonna go into another reason. Another reason is that people who sit in our position, not us. I don't care. I love Dilla. I love traditional sources.
Oh, I do
Dilla's
too.
becoming.
Yeah.
I love non-traditional sources of media.
Dilla, you should be getting paid for this crap, bro.
I've been saying this since I found out who he was. Who's right more than not. But then you have guys like Gene Fournette who sit where they've been at. They've been doing this for years, and they know what it's like to be the newcomer. That's the part that makes people hate you. So when they don't see you be critical, or if they don't feel you're critical enough, because you may be critical, but they don't feel you're critical enough, they see you be petty, because that's really all it is. And when you hope that somebody who isn't in your position is wrong, just because they got something before you got it,
right?
And you take time to subtweet or sub diss or do those things. That's when people. That's what, especially a guy. Again, why do people collectively hate it? Who's probably the most popular person in Jaguars fan media? Dilla, Bold City Couch,
Cap.
The guys who run the damn Bold City Brigade.
Yep.
That's why they hate you. They hate you because anytime you get a chance to prove that somebody is remember we had the comedian come on our show and he said the one thing that he doesn't do, he doesn't punch down, he punches up.
Yeah.
You take time out of your schedule to tweet or talk, and because I don't think it's necessarily punching down, but where you sit at, you're irreputable in this world. You punch down, and then you wonder why when they get a chance to collectively slap the shit out of you, they do it.
But I think that's don't you think that's changing? Like, I think media is changing like that. I think that when we first started doing radio, like, there wasn't this.
No.
Right? People didn't just go and talk. Like, now it's everywhere.
Like there are a lot more podcasts. There's a lot more people who, which is the other side of why people can't do this and why people stop doing like the Heat. I take it like there's people who are going back and commenting on what we were talking about with the Florida State game. Like when I said I can't believe we lost to a team.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, maybe I was wrong. Well, I don't know. I don't care enough now to go back and think about something then. But nope, everybody's afraid to be wrong. Even the guy who's really good, like not Dipsy, Meat, 55 linebacker.
Oh, McManus?
Yeah, but Tom McManus went and put his neck on the line with those things, and he's like,
he
I'm not afraid
have a
to
neck, but
yeah, he does. Yeah. But Tom is like,
he put his shoulders on the line.
Yeah, he's put his shoulders on the line. He's not afraid to be wrong. It's like that's why most people can't do this, and then you can't dish out what you're giving. And maybe the other part that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But I do know this.
Having sat in both seats, I get it. I guess is all I'm saying. I completely understand. There is a direct correlation between good content and pay, as well as good team and pay. Mm-hmm. Because when the Jags were good in 2017, we were running 6-minute commercial breaks. Mm-hmm. Like, it was crazy. It was, hey, you want to go to Super Bowl? Go find a sponsor. Cool. Whoever we want wants to sponsor. Like, everybody wanted in. Mm-hmm. If the Jags would have done it this year, like, everybody's pay goes up. Everybody's in a better mood. Sometimes I think that people think that media want the team to suck because they think that the anger actually helps ratings or helps content, and it doesn't. I promise you guys, it doesn't.
Not this long. This is too long.
Maybe for a year occasionally to change it, like in New England. Like if they had a 4-win year, Boston radio would pop off.
Here's where it goes. You get a slight bump
but then
during coaching searches.
Well, and it always goes away because it's negative.
Yeah.
Anything negative goes away. And if it doesn't go away, like if you're listening to somebody negative over and over and over again, what are you going to be? Negative.
I just think remember when Miles Jack moved to Mike linebacker?
Yeah.
It's stuff like this. Like Miles Jack, he had a great day at practice. He was flying around everywhere. We're there. I'm like, the hell are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
The ball went to the left. He ran to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Like what happens is it turns, because again, I think I played it for. I played it for mine. It's always the most vocal people, like really, like your haters that are more vocal than the people who like you.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So like they just don't like the people, but they don't like them for these reasons they've made it up and they've bought themselves.
I'm scared after today's show what he's actually putting together over there. Like, I see Miles over there working, and last time he did this during a show, it did not go well.
Well, if you want to feel good, somebody already put the a clip or a quote of me talking about what Balky has on shot. So like it's already out. That's already out there. So like, yeah.
Mine is tame so far.
Okay. All right. I saw your energy last time. You were completely bumped Denny. But it was all right. All right.
I'm probably gonna get killed by the coalition to raise minimum wage. I be having people I love Twitter. I got people so confused on Twitter.
And the paper straws. Remember the paper straw thing?
Is great. They're like, I got super conservatives calling me a liberal, and I got super liberals calling me conservative. Like nobody knows what I think. And which, to be honest with you, I know.
That's fantastic.
I go back and forth depending on how the weather goes.
Exactly. Exactly. You see that box over there? So that's a microphone. So right there, right by Miles.
Yeah, I see it.
So I get this call the other day about doing this podcast. Like, hey, will you be a guest on the podcast? Yeah, cool.
Sent you a microphone.
So they're like, yeah, we're gonna send. I'm like, I got a whole studio. They're like, nope, we got to be our microphone. So yeah, they sent me a microphone.
Do you
That's
have to
big
send
time.
it back?
I have no idea if there's not a.
COVID.
I don't know if there's a return limit. COVID.
Like, just keep it.
Sorry, ma'am, I coughed on it. That's not gonna come back to you.
Damn, I want to do podcasts where they just send me free stuff.
I know. I was like, wow. It came in and it's like, what'd you order now? I didn't order anything. It's this microphone. All right, we got to go. We got to get out. We'll be back on Monday, hopefully with a new head coach.
That'd be nice. Or renderings at least.
Renderings of a coach?
Yeah, of a coach. Anybody wants to pay attention, if you're interested in metaverse and NFTs, in about 30 minutes, me and Freddie Stevenson will be on.
What the hell? What in the actual hell are you doing?
A show about NFTs.
Did we not just talk about this and say we want to do this on this show?
Well, it's on our network.
Was that not a thing?
It's not my connection.
It was
Freddie's.
A week ago. Literally, I was like,
listening.
We're gonna have an expert on this TV, and we're gonna get educated. And now you're promoting.
Freddie was listening and it said, "Hey, I know people."
Freddie, what the hell?
He set it up. It wasn't me. You threw me under the bus. Fuck Freddie. Fuck that fullback. Throw his ass under the bus.
Dang, Freddie. All right, we got to go. What is 30 minutes?
In 30. Well, yeah, something like that.
All right. In 20 minutes, I'm going to cut their account. We'll talk to y'all Monday.
How does it smell? Oh, no.